information. Put that over there. Um, Broner versus Mikey Garcia has been made official for July 29th in the Barclays Center. Oh, stay. In the Barclays Center. Now, what's going around is Adrian Broner didn't want to fight in LA. I can understand why. So, Barclays Center seems to be a neutral ground, even though you could say, well, it's closer to Cincinnati than, LA is closer to Texas and, all that. I mean, then Brooklyn is closer to Texas and, all that stuff. So, I look at it like this. As I said, let me explain my logic. I feel Adrian Broner has a strong chance because of his power and the fact that Mikey Garcia is not a pressure fighter or a volume puncher. You beat Adrian Broner or you give Adrian Broner problems, what do? You pressure him. Even Paulie Malignaggi said once you start throwing a lot of punches at him, he goes into this shell where his punch output drops. Mikey Garcia is not a volume puncher, so therefore, what is this going to be? This is going to be a match of boxing skill overall as far as hands. Mikey Garcia is not going to go out there throwing a fucking 1,000 punches and shit. It's not happening. So I feel like this. Broner being the bigger fighter, right? Remember, Mikey Garcia is moving up to weight. He's never fought at 140 before. I'm saying, wait, was his first fight back at 140? It was at a catch weight. But Mikey Garcia is testing new waters, whereas an Adrian Broner is a 147-pounder fighting at 140, whose power has not carried up to 147 pounds. However, you do not want to get hit with a clean punch from Adrian Broner. So, despite what you think about him, Adrian Broner has some sharp hands, just that his foot movement is fucked up and his punch output is fucked up. But overall, he's a pretty accurate boxer. So, I think like this, right? Mikey Garcia is going to catch one clean, and what happens? He's going to go down. Or he should. Mikey Garcia doesn't, throw punches in bunches. He's a pure, boxer. However, there is the Robert Garcia factor, and it all depends. So let me just say some things real quick. Tomorrow, right now it's June the 14th. Tomorrow, June the 15th at 10 a.m., tickets go on sale. They are priced at $950, $750, $350, $300, $250, $150, $75, and $50. This fight should be lit, so they shouldn't have any problems selling tickets. This fight should do better than Berto versus Porter, and Berto versus Porter did well, as far as ticket sales. I believe it was like close to 10,000 he had in there or something, and that place was rocking. I was there; it was rocking. So it's going to be in the Barclays Center on Showtime, July the 29th. We don't know what the undercard is supposed to be yet. There are rumors about the undercard kind of. Jared Swift Heard, did confirm that he'll be fighting Austin Trout on the undercard for the IBF title. We do know that, but expect them to stack this card up with one more fight on the regular Showtime telecast to add to those two fights I just talked about, and then they have maybe about 2 or 3 fights on the Showtime Extreme card. And they've been doing that lately, to make sure they get a lot of boxers their exposure. So let me see if there's any more information, that's worth it. Many are wondering if Adrian Broner can even make contacts. Many are wondering if Adrian Broner can even make 140 pounds. But listen, he's doing yoga and shit. Put it this way, I've always had a soft spot for Adrian Broner. But however, I've always been one of those media reporters, whereas whether you're black or not, if you do some dumb shit, I'm gonna call you out for it. If you want some dumb shit, I may ride with you one fight, but if you get beat up the next fight, then it's like we gotta talk about it. You got beat the fuck up. He barely won that Adrian Granados fight, and many said if he loses to Mikey Garcia, that it's like he's kind of done. You see what I'm saying? So this is really, in reality, a big must-win for Adrian Broner, and he does have the advantage because he is the bigger fighter. But people are saying, well, Mikey Garcia is such a good boxer and everything. He is, but he's never fought somebody as big as Adrian Broner. Let me look at some shit real quick. So Adrian Broner seems to be doing the right thing, and I hope that with what he went through, and a lot of people never been through that type of shit before, as far as being shot at, that shit ain't no joke. So I'm hoping that type of situation woke him up as far as yo, I gotta start fucking, getting my shit together. And also Adrian Broner, he said it, this is shit he said himself on his Instagram. That he's having some financial issues, paying like $15,000 a month in child support, shit like that. Then he said he had to pay off the fucking dude that he pistol whipped. So it's like, if you really look at it with his lifestyle, for him, I mean, we all know what he make. He make anywhere between $1 to $1.5 million a fight, or at least that's what's released on paper. So it's like, you know, he's not eating like, you know, like he making $15 million a fight. And if you look at his lifestyle, you know, he do seem to spend a lot of money. But I just hope that with a fight like this, that he realizes like, yo, you know, I got to go out there and get shit done. So looking at Adrian Broner's resume, right, and looking at the fighters that he has had problems with or he's been defeated by, Adrian Granados, pressure fighter. I wish we had the CompuBox number so we can go over him. Adrian Granados was laying hands, mostly because Adrian Granados is a volume puncher, pressure fighter. Mikey Garcia is not. Look at Sean Porter, who beat him. Volume puncher, pressure fighter, right? Who else? Marcos McDonough, volume puncher, pressure fighter. Paulie Malignaggi, no power, but he was pressuring the shit out of Adrian Broner. He was throwing all kind of crazy combinations to the body. Who else? Who else? Go down further. Go down to Daniel Ponce de Leon, pressure fighter. And I always talk about this. There's this fighter. His name is Fernando Quintero. Go look it up on YouTube. It was an ESPN fight years ago. What year was that? 2009. This was, I was in college. This is how many years ago this was. I was in college. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, yo, who's this Adrian Broner guy? This, you know. And then I looked, you know, and I was watching the fight. I'm like, yo, dude is laying hands on this young prospect. And truth be told, in my personal opinion, Fernando Quintero should have won that fight. And he was the one that laid the blueprint out for Adrian Broner. So when you look at Mikey Garcia, you know, let's go look at the highest weight Mikey Garcia has fought at. I believe it was that fight he first came against Elio Rojas. You know, that was his first fight back in 2.5 years. He weighed in at 138, you know, so basically 140. Then he fought Dejan Zivek at 135, brutally knocked him the fuck out. But if you look at it, Mikey Garcia, you know, is a small fighter. And Adrian Broner, even though he's fought in those weight divisions too, Adrian Broner is a bigger framed fighter and has been fighting over 140 for quite some time now. You know, so once again, it's all about the punch stats. I like Mikey Garcia because he's a very humble fighter, and also he has a very loyal fan base, and not just Mexicans. People really fuck with really fuck with Mikey Garcia. They like him. You know, but it's like, in order for him to beat Adrian Broner, his boxing skills got to be real, real sharp because Adrian Broner is not a joke. As far as, you know, like straight hands, especially if you're standing right there in front of Adrian Broner, and you're not pressuring him, dude, not no joke. So it's like this, right? Will we see Mikey Garcia doing a lot of movement? Will he step up his punch output? And if he steps up his punch output, will that be going against who he is as a fighter? And will that set him up to be cracked with some shit if he goes away from who he is as a fighter? Now, overall, I do admit that I feel that Mikey Garcia is the overall better fighter overall. But however, when you match up these two styles, I'm giving Adrian Broner the edge. Because I feel that the power will play in, and that may deter Mikey Garcia from doing whatever he plans on doing going forward in the fight. So, nobody expected this fight. This shit came out of nowhere. But at the same time, I understand that, you know, with the Heyman stable of fighters, they're in a situation where they all got to be in big fights. There's no more baby in them anymore. So, and Mikey Garcia also, if he loses, guess what? He goes back down to 135, and he's still champion. He can say some shit at the post-fight, well, you know, I moved up too much weight, and, you know, I'm not ready for 140 yet. We all know how it goes. If Adrian Broner loses, then it's like, you know, like where do you really go from here? Because it's like, truth be told, Broner can't hang at 140. Broner can't hang at 140. Just what I mean, no, 147. We've seen that. He can't hang at 147. But however, the reason why he hasn't been able to make 140 where he should be is because of outside shit going on in his life. Hanging out with Big Ash with the fucking 8X white t-shirt. Or walking around in Vegas getting drunk with a big-ass bottle of Ciroc. Yeah, I know motherfuckers in his circle. Or that be at the club and like, I saw Adrian Broner last night, and he was, you know, that party and shit got to stop. But the good thing is, we're hearing good things from Ken. You know, and how many days is it till July 29th? Some shit. I know it's less than 2 months. Let me see. How many days till July 29th? 45 days. 45 days. And we know he just got out of jail like 3 weeks ago. You know, he's always in jail for some dumb shit. But hey, at the same time, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. You know, I'm not judging. Especially after what I went through this weekend with these fucking weirdos on social media. So, like I said, I'm really... Let me see. Mikey Garcia got his nose broke by Orlando Salido, accidental headbutt. Like, I'm trying to figure out Garcia. He did go down against Rocky Martinez. So Mikey Garcia is no stranger to being down. And obviously Adrian Broner has been down before too. But like I said, I guess it's all about the power, you know? I'm Teacher Controversy. This is Teacher Controversy Live. Please subscribe.